first and foremost the book, and I'm curious how you went about choosing the stories and the women that you wanted to spotlight specifically.
That's a really collaborative thing. You know, I'm talking with the publisher of the book and other people that I want to get involved. I've got a great researcher down in Dallas who has actually been to seminary and is a theologian, all the things I'm actually not. And we talk about who should we include. In the first book, I really fought to include Rahab the prostitute, because I love the idea that God uses us, no matter who we are, where we are, flawed. Like, listen, we're all flawed. Jesus would be the only person in the Bible if we're just going with unflawed people. So I said, listen, let's include her. I think that's interesting. And you know, we come together and listen, in this book too, we included some difficult stories, some very dysfunctional families. And we thought, all right, who are characters that people can relate to, that they can maybe see some good and some bad in, and actually find applications for their life now.
Yeah, I love the focus on imperfections. We were talking a little bit about that before we got on with you, and how that relates to real women, because as a mom, I'm totally imperfect. I think about that all the time. I'm like, am I doing this right? Am I doing the right things? And I say that to Miriam all the time, to Mock all the time. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I hope I'm doing this right. I'm doing that right. And I think sometimes we beat ourselves up. And so I'm sure that's one of the reasons why your book has resonated so much with moms, with women, with people, right? And it's what is it, 15 weeks on the New York Times bestseller list. I'm probably even messing that up, but it's like, but people are so hungry for this kind of a book, because I love the focus on the imperfection part, because you don't have to be perfect in the eyes of God, right?
Yeah, we'd have no hope. I mean, honestly, none of us can ever get there. And I love that it's not based on our works, our ability to get to perfection, because we can't. I sometimes talk to my friends like, gosh, there's this same thing that I struggle with in my life, and I keep going back and forth, and I've asked God for forgiveness and for help. And, you know, we think about this in the terms of parenthood. Like, if your child was sick and suffering with something and they were fighting back against it, you would be in that fight with them. You would be cheering for them. You're on their side. You're pulling for them. You wouldn't say, you need to get better. I'm sick of you being sick, and I'm so ashamed and upset with you that you can't get better. God knows we're human. I think he knows our hearts and sees where we are striving. We are, you know, fighting to get better and to be more of what he can make us. But I don't think he's coming at us with constant condemnation. And that's something I sort of had to unlearn from earlier in my life.
Yeah. And it speaks to the human condition. There's a quote that I saw, and it's faith. It's from you. It's faith is more of a twisting road than a short line. And I love that. I love that. Because again, it speaks to all of us. And that is, you're absolutely right about that. I love it.